Hello and welcome back to the Preppy podcast. Thank you so much for being here and listening. As always, I have a really great interview coming out today. Today, I will be talking with the two sisters behind the brand Sunshine Tienda. I have been a fan of theirs for a while now. I have, I think, probably 3 of their hats. They're just so good. But I was really surprised to hear that they actually launched with jewelry first. And I just loved hearing all about their journey, their background in fashion, and what led them to this brand and keeps it so special. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and they were generous enough to give a code for a discount if you use code Preppy at checkout. So let's get into this week's episode. All right, so why don't you ladies let everyone know who you are, where you live, and what you do.
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm co-founder of Sunshine Tienda.
And I'm Amanda, same. And we are in New Braunfels, Texas with Sunshine Tienda. Yeah.
Excellent. And so I met you two years ago, I think at the Southern Sea originally. And I think even before the Southern Sea, though, I bought a hat from your collab, maybe with Ashley Brooke, or maybe it was another one, but I had one of your hats before meeting you and have been such a fan. So I'm really excited to have you on the podcast today and learn more about you and your business.
Oh, it makes me so happy. I love the Ashley Brooke collab. The Daisy hat was so stinking cute.
Yeah, she's great. Great. Well, thanks for supporting us. We appreciate that.
Of course. So let's start at the beginning. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What were you guys like as kids? Were you creative? Were you entrepreneurial? Like, did you have a lemonade stand, or were you making, friendship bracelets back then? Tell me about your childhood.
Were we doing that?
I mean, I would say, we weren't always most action oriented in being entrepreneurial, but we always had some fun visions of doing fun things. Remember the snow cone stand? We always wanted
to do that.
I think it's nice when you can identify opportunities, you know what I mean? Which I think, at any age you do.
Yeah.
I remember us growing up and wanting to open up a snow cone stand.
Yeah, we really should still do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about entrepreneurial, but we definitely have always been interested in the fashion business. So that's definitely been something that's always been of interest for us.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a snow cone stand is like still on brand with you guys, because your brand is so much about vacation and fun, and what's more fun than a snow cone stand?
It was just so cute looking.
Yeah, I know. It was like a combo of we like snow cones, we like summer, and we like a cute aesthetic. A little small little hut.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We definitely, like Laura said, have always loved beautiful things and things that made us feel happy. And yes, absolutely. Always have been hat girls and love to wear pretty things. And so this definitely is in line with, I would say, our personalities and our genuine interests. So
agree.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about that. When it came time for college, like where and what did you guys study? Was it then fashion? Because it sounds like you had an interest in style and fashion from a young age, or was it something completely different?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of random. So we grew up in Houston, and I went to the University of Kansas, and Amanda went to Auburn, and
War Eagle.
And I was there for a year, and I thought I was going to be more of like a fashion editor. It was kind of the direction that I went to KU. I don't even know why I went to KU. I loved it. I had such a great time, but there was no real reason.
No, we know the reason. What was the reason?
Well, okay, this is gonna be.
Don't be bashful.
But it was back whenever it was before. Oh my God, it was not before the internet, but it's whenever they had college books. That you would go so that's how you would look for schools, and so you would look about all these little blurbs about each college. Yeah. And so I went and I thought the Greek row images of KU was just so adorable, and there was snow, and we didn't have any of that stuff. So literally that's what happened.
And we chased schools that had good Greek life.
That's what ridiculous. We did. That's what we did. Year in, I was like, this is not where I need to be. They didn't even have it made no sense because I wanted to be in fashion, and so I transferred to a school in New York. And so that's what I did. And then what did you do, Amanda?
And it was kind of a similar experience. I went to Auburn for a couple of years and then transferred to New York because I found myself visiting Laura, every other month in the city, and was so envious of the project she was working on. It was just so focused on exactly what we wanted that and I think that's so interesting. I feel like a lot of people go to college because they feel like they have to be super open with all the potential opportunities and potential interests down the line. And when you may actually really know what you want, but you feel like you shouldn't just start there, or shouldn't start so small. And I would say, again, after a couple of years of undergraduate, I was like, I'm very clear about what I want to. Yeah. And so I made the move and went to New York as well. And both of us finished up at a very specialty school called the Laboratory Institute of Merchandising, which focuses on the business of fashion. And we had incredible experiences with internships. Obviously, the city has so much to offer along those lines. And again, amazing professors that worked in the business and were able to really coach us and guide us. And I wanted to do buying specifically. And so had a lot of experience with that even before we graduated. So it was a really great pivot, I think, for both of us. And it's fun, I think, for our parents, obviously, because they're like, I'm so grateful that you actually
did something
with the degree that we got.
Yeah. So. No, that's so cool. And I think that is such a good point, is sometimes I think kids, when they're applying, they feel like, well, they have to keep all the opportunities open, or they shouldn't necessarily know what they want to be at that point. And sometimes that leads us in different directions but then we end up finding our way, right?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And you know what you love, and I think for us too, you mentioned our childhood. We've always loved New York City. We love everything, the energy, everything about it. And I think a college experience is more than just even the education. It's like where you are. It's the people that you're around. It's all of that kind of works together. And so, we both fell in love there with that place.
And it's funny. I remember one of my first, in my visual merchandising class, I remember I had, you had to come up with like your ideal storefront. And I remember my store had a thatched roof. Like, what is that? So I guess it was kind of like a beach hut. And then I had like chandeliers in it, and I wanted to be a vacation vibe, but fancy.
We had a bar inside.
There was a bar inside.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that.
I think as well.
Yeah, because like all of our favorite things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've kind of done that.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I mean, and New York it's such a learning experience as a city itself. Like beyond going to school, they're just living in New York. There's so many people, so many cultures. Just getting around, you learn so much. So I'm curious then, what did both of you do after you graduate? Like kind of what was your first career and journey into launching your own brand then?
My first job was with JCPenney on their design team. So I was in that with product development, and they're headquartered in Dallas. So I moved back to, I always joke, I was ready to leave New York, and I think I probably just needed a vacation away,
Yeah.
But instead I was like, nope, I'm done. I need to go. I need like a Target and a car again, and like that type of thing.
We love big transitions.
We do.
We're let's start over again.
Totally start over. So I moved back to Dallas. I moved to Dallas, and then I got a job with JCPenney. I was there for several years, and then I pivoted to a trend analyst position at Claire's Accessories. Like the junior. In Chicago, and then I moved back, and we started our business after that. I mean, that was over the course of. It was pretty quick. How many years was that? That was probably like 7 years.
Oh wow, yeah.
So quite a bit of time, but then I moved back and we started it after that.
Yeah.
Amanda, what did you do?
So I worked so I stayed in New York, and I worked with a jewelry design showroom, it was a showroom effectively. And I was there for just a little bit, and then I had a similar experience. Kind of needed a vacation from New York, and also I think it's another thing to say is that just like most people when they go to a college, they leave their town, right? They leave and they move to something else. Whereas we we're in this kind of weird spot of like, we were going to stay in a city that we had gone to school in, and so I kind of needed a little bit of like something in between,
Yeah.
And so anyways, I ended up traveling. I left New York and went on a little tour of the world and traveled for a while in South America and then some in Central and some other places, and definitely fell in love with, and that was also where kind of a sideline of our interest was just the world of
artisans, markets,
the craftsmanship that they put into things, and learning how they weave things, and just going into all the markets around the world and seeing the different colors and the different fabrics that are used. And I was immediately obsessed. I was in Nepal at one point and went into this dressmaker shop and had her make me something. And it was just so cool to see how everybody puts things together in such different ways in different regions of the world. And anyways, and so, but also just I volunteered a lot. And so kind of fell in love with the nonprofit side of the world and how to, find fulfillment in things other than money, and so I ended up, when I came back to the States, I ended up working in nonprofits and did that for up until I went full time with Sunshine Tienda. So always did Sunshine Tienda on one side, and then also whatever I was doing.
There's pictures of us. I was looking at pictures last night at like just from over the years, and there was one of us in our first or second office, and because I was doing it full time and Amanda wasn't. And I remember you had both your laptops up. It's like, from, paycheck work and then Sunshine Tienda work.
Oh my gosh.
Because it feels like forever ago that we were doing that.
It's a balance. It's definitely tough, but it's fun. I mean, everyone's, we're all dynamic humans, and we have so many different interests, and it's fun to be, as long as you can, to be able to sustain both is nice.
Yeah.
But.
Exactly. No, even me with my PR business, I started kind of freelancing when I was full-time at an agency, and then I was freelancing on the side, like on my lunch break and my weekends and night times when I got home. So I totally get kind of starting it as a side hustle and then growing it into a full-time, business. So tell me a little bit about that, the initial idea then for Sunshine Tienda. I know you got inspiration from your travel and seeing artisans. Like, what was the first product you launched with? Like, how did you launch it and get it out there? And sort of what was that thought process behind the brand and bringing it into the world?
So how we actually started was, I mean, the traveling that I mentioned. We bought a bunch of stuff and would bring stuff home. Like our first pop-up that we ever did was with things that we had purchased in markets. Like that's all that it was. And so
a lot of home goods.
Yeah. We were actually last night. I'm sure you've seen this trend on social media where people are putting up photos of their
the crazy things you've done.
Yeah, like unhinged things. Yeah,
it's so embarrassing.
It's so fun to look back at all of the things that just what we were doing, what our mind frame was like at that point.
I know.
Like just all the stuff. It's what our interests were, what the style was, just all these things. But anyways. So I was looking at some old market pop-up photos, is why I bring that up. Anyways, and so that's how we really started, was just this sort of like basically almost like a flea market of sorts.
It was like a flea market vibe, and it was that, and then we filled it in with jewelry, and so it was a lot of accessories. So that was definitely the what we launched with.
And from the beginning, we really loved buffalo jewelry. Or buffalo horn jewelry, and if I could say it that
horn
way.
Jewelry buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo horn. And so from the beginning, we really loved horn jewelry, and so we started working with some artisans in Vietnam specifically, and very simply, I don't think that was even our intention, was to really make our own collection. We just liked it, and we were like, hey, by the way, can we actually change this color to be this and double the size of that statement earring? And she was like, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So, and that was like off of Etsy. It was a woman we'd found on. And anyways, and so she sent us our first samples, and that really kind of, I think, turned something on for us of like, oh, we can make a lot more of this. And I love doing this.
This in larger volume than what, because it wasn't sustainable to be able to, travel and bring product back. I mean, that just wasn't
well, it was so fun. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I find that, a lot of brands that I interview on here, or a couple, have sort of started that way, whether it's artisan products or it's vintage products. And sometimes that's hard to scale, right? Because there's so few of it, and or they're one of a kind. And even that's hard then with getting press placements if there's just one product. So I totally get that. So it sounds like, you dabbled then in sort of designing in a way some products, and that kind of, the light bulb went off then to start doing your own products, right?
Yeah. And it was very organic in that we just loved it. I think we've always been very true to that, like, producing or pursuing things that we genuinely wear and like and want, and others like also. And kind of just pushing that. So
and we got a website, and then it was I don't know if it's still around, but our first website, it started was it called Wix?
Yes, yeah, WIX, right?
Yes. So we started with that and then quickly pivoted over to BigCommerce and then to Shopify eventually. But I remember I wish I had photos of this. I remember getting pictures. Now it's all about the right light and like lighting, especially for your pictures for your website. And we had this white, what's it called? Like a box.
Like a backdrop or a box. Okay.
Yeah. And just getting pictures on my phone. And at the time, that was 10 years ago. I mean, just not the quality was not there, but we got pictures of it that way and put it up, and we're so proud of it. I thought it looked good. I have to show you pictures of what those look like now, but it worked. It got us going.
Exactly. You have to start somewhere. I feel like, talking about the unhinged things, I even think back to me. I remember my first website, the pictures of like my office was just like this white desk I put in the living room corner of my parents' living room and staged that as like my office for my website picture. So I think, when you're starting out, you're like scrappy and you're just trying to see, throw everything against the wall, see what works and do what you can at the moment. And then you grow and you scale and, but it's fun looking back at, right?
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, when I think of your brand, I think of your amazing hats. And obviously now you have clothing too, which we were talking about offline. So could you tell us a little bit about the growth and the addition of new product categories and how those came about and when?
I'll jump in here to kind of toot Laura's horn. So I am definitely a play it safe, make something work, make it as efficient as possible. Like, you know what I mean? Like follow a trajectory. I need a plan. I'm very much like that. If I don't understand, something, I'm opposed to it.
Yeah.
And Laura's the exact opposite. She's like, launch it before it's ready. Do this. Let's just see how people react to this. I think we should do this. I am seeing a lot of this. And that I think kind of goes to like her trend background, and she likes, she's looking ahead all the time. And so anyways, with this, the jewelry was cruising and it was doing great. And it was in a lot of stores, and Anthropologie had picked it up and then Nordstrom had picked it up. And we were so excited. And I was like, this is wonderful. This is great.
And then I was over here like, what jewelry? Let's do this instead.
I know. Like, yeah. And then I think then at that point, then the hats had come in, and those were doing great. Actually, those didn't do great from the very beginning. We had launched those, and I remember it was the Christina and the Rosita hat had launched first, and like I thought they were they're so cute. I love them. And remember, it didn't have the reaction that we thought it was going to. Maybe for wholesale, it didn't have the reaction.
Well, because
I was shocked.
Well, we were at the market in Vegas, Magic, and we shared a booth with our friends from Go Rings. So it was us in this 10 by 10 booth. I was wickedly pregnant, and then I was sitting on this stool, but we just had the side of the booth, and the one hat was in the back corner, like it wasn't the focus at all. So I remember like a few shops picked it up, and I was like, I don't get it. It's so cute.
But I think we loved it so much.
So
it was one of those genuine, like if you were at a market and you walked through and you saw that, you'd be like, you would beeline to that. Like that was how much I was
thought
into
that.
It. Well, that's how things start, right?
Yeah.
Like you feel passionate about it, you think whatever. And so when something doesn't catch fire, you're like, what am I missing?
Yeah.
You know? So anyways, that had happened. And then the next year, it really kind of took off, the hat, and that silhouette had taken off.
And we grew the assortment. Yeah. So we, because now looking back at things, I wonder like why that doesn't happen. And you have to have a bigger presence with it. You can't just have one. You really need to have to show you some authority in it and really be in that category.
Yeah.
And yet. And so we did. We eventually grew the band.
So that was what I was going to say. Was that so the hats, then that kind of took off, and that was doing great for like maybe a season and a half. And then so again, I'm getting comfortable with it. I'm fully behind it. And then Laura was like, I think we should find an apparel manufacturer. And I was like, hold on, absolutely not.
And that's not
hats. I was like, who's the designer here? Like, what are you talking about? And like, I mean, if you think that, like, first of all I saw were dollar signs, and that's such an expensive investment in a world we know nothing about in the reality of it. How we had dabbled in it, never to the point of like, we're going to invest what little money we have in doing something that's very foreign for us. And we didn't have a consultant. We didn't have anything. It was literally like, let's roll, And so we did. And then, again, the first season I that was one of the unhinged pictures I pulled up, was like our very first collection, which I was so proud of it. But now looking back at it, I'm like, what? That was crazy. So, but anyway, that was kind of how we've expanded. We always had the intention of being more of a broad resort wear brand, you know, but how we went about that, we didn't have the places set. I don't think it's just kind of naturally unfolded as Laura has led, you know.
See, you know what?
Yeah.
I love that. No, I think sometimes you just have to, like, what's the saying, build the plane as you're like taking off or something. I totally get that. I think that was a great tip about, when you're launching something new, whether it's a new category or a new brand completely, you kind of need enough product in that category to make it feel substantial, to make people like get it and wrap their heads around it and then be drawn to it and want in on it. So I think that's a great, design tip and advice there. So you mentioned that, your hats and pieces have been carried at places like Anthropologie, your jewelry has, and Nordstrom. I'm curious, like, what's been a pinch me moment for you two? What's something that you're really proud of, or, really surprised you looking back?
100% Andrew. That was the first one. Just because it was the very first one, and like we were, it was so new to it. It was right after our very first trade show, and so although those are huge investments and scary, it also, like, the potential from them is
the trade
huge.
show. You mean?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What did I say?
No, I was just.
Oh yeah, trade show. But I remember someone came up to us, another vendor, another brand walked up to us and was talking about our jewelry, and we were just in the cash and carry section, so it's like a booth. This small amount of stuff, and she said, y'all need to raise your prices because somebody like Anthropologie is going to come around and they're going to just, they're going to want deals. I mean, a lot of the big stores do, a lot of the big box stores sort of discount. And we just didn't know. We didn't know how it worked, and so we definitely, I think, as a brand have like learned that about just how things work, and we have leaned on other people to help us with, like, knowing best practices and what works for everybody's brands. But I think that Anthro, by far, walking in there, and it was during COVID, so on my pictures I have like a mask on. In there to look at it, I'm like pulling it down to like point at our jewelry, and I'm like, here it is. Like, especially big store was really, really cool. So I would say that's mine.
And that was definitely very validating. I mean, anytime a big box store like picks you up, or I wouldn't go Anthro a big box, but like it's very validating, you know.
In a store we love.
Right. That was, I think, more so for me was just we shop there. We love everything that they have, and so to have our stuff carried by them was just very.
And another one,
very, very exciting.
I remember I was at brunch. I don't know if I was with you, but I remember this. I remember where I was and everything. And we had
most of the things we do revolve around eating and drinking.
I was at brunch in Dallas, and then one of our sales reps at the time, I remember her texting saying, this was, how many years ago this was? I don't remember. But anyways, Tucker Nuck had walked by, but Tucker Nuck wasn't big at the time. They were still like, it wasn't what they are now.
Yeah.
And I knew them, and I remember I had shopped them. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But I was so excited, and that was another one. And they, and it was of our jewelry they picked up. Eventually happened, but that was cool.
Yeah, the jewelry's definitely led the way, and again, I feel like it's kind of fallen off as like the front runner of like people's focus when they come to when they think of Sunshine Tienda, but definitely helped pave the way for us to expand into what we are doing now. Yeah. But I would say my pinch me was so we live in a small town, like I mentioned, outside of Austin. And you'll see our product out in this town. It's not as common here. So when I go on vacation or do certain things, we were in Seaside, and I have never seen so many Sunshine Tienda hats in one place. And it was so fun to see, obviously it's fun to have a store we admire carry our product, but to see the end consumer wearing our product in the world that they have chosen for themselves and spent their money on, it's just so exciting. And I, of course, approached every single person I could.
What a creeper!
I'm such a creeper, but I was so excited about it.
What did you say to them?
I've never seen that. Like, again, we live in Minneapolis, and we're so removed from like larger cities that I don't get to see this in the world. And so, besides maybe your public pool.
What did your public pool? It's called a community pool.
Laura's neighborhood pool.
Laura's public pool.
No backyard for the public. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways,
so what did you say to people when you were
I love your hat. You know, do you love it? You know,
do you tell them that you're the designer?
I just said I love your hat. Like we're just complimenting them on it. And I did see, which is another thought in my head, was on the beach. I saw so many hats blowing away, like on along the beach, and I was like, we should come up with some sort of like we need to do something to help these women with the wind with their hats, you know. But anyways, and so that was definitely my pinch me, was to see them. This was just maybe a couple years ago, and I was just so humbled by by seeing that. It was just
and being a part of everybody's great travels and memories is just really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's such a good point. You know, even just in PR, one of my favorite things is seeing my clients' products on people, like, and we have an event and we dress everyone, and seeing how everyone like styles the piece differently or wears it differently, I think is so cool. And it's funny. I interviewed, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was a children's clothing brand on this podcast probably a few months ago. And she had mentioned that when they go on vacation, I guess they do a lot of children's swimwear. When they go on vacation and they see kids or, you know, families with their product, they go up to them and like say that they're the designer, and then give them these little backpacks that they travel with the brand. I'm like, that's so smart and like genius there. Right?
I love that.
I can barely manage my own things. I don't think I could travel with more things and give
more
away.
things.
That's such a good point by the airport. I see a lot. We travel.
We should do some sort of like spotted. I spotted you. Now you're going to discount or
like a little gift card or something.
Yeah,
it's definitely fun to see people in the airport with their little hat clips and hats, walking around with like hats stacked up of our stuff, and it's like, oh, I love that.
I know. I never say anything.
I'm curious, what has been the best form of marketing for you too? Like when you look back, or even today, like what's really worked and what's put you on the map and you think really got you out there and helped?
I would say, obviously Instagram's our best friend.
I would say natural, organic interest has really helped too.
100%. But also I think that we, the first thing we ever did was we jumped in with an agency to do our marketing, like social, our ads and stuff. And I think it was too early when we did it. And so we stopped doing that, because you have to be able to afford that, right? And like have it make sense with what your return is. And we stopped that, and we worked with the PR company. And I think I look back and I think that was really smart. I think it was smart at that time. It was 2020. And we, that kind of just got our name out more in the region we wanted, in the Southeast specifically, because we were so proud of our products and we knew it was great, but we needed to get there and to get in front of those people. And so we did that. And then after that,
they also, just to interrupt you for a second, they also really helped refine our storytelling, you know, and helped us explain who we were and who we wanted the world to see us as, and
softened our edges.
They really did, you know, kind of explain, you know, I mean, it's tough to even write a bio, you know what I mean? Like, what do you say? How do you say it? How do we express how passionate we are about the artisans that we work with and tell their story? Like, really get that out there without confusing people or giving too much detail or just all that stuff. So they really helped with that, which was very important.
And then after that, moving into more of the marketing, paid ads and helping us with our, just all of it, direct mail, everything. So I feel like that was a smarter path for us versus trying to go all in at the beginning with an agency.
A digital marketing
I'm sorry,
agency.
yes. A digital marketing agency. So that's, that's kind of what we did. And I know it's different for everybody.
And there's been fun things too that we just, you know, are excited about, like certain placements in magazines that we love. And it's more this, whether, you know, that, I don't know what actually impact that had on our actual bottom line, but we loved it and we were excited about it. We were on the Today Show, which was, I love the Today Show. So I was very excited about that. We were in Southern Living, which we love Southern Living. So we were very excited about that. But I would say, as far as the biggest impact, I really feel like the influencers that we've worked with have really helped spread the word, you know, and influencers that we love and that we follow as well. And we know they represent our brand so well and they want to do it, and so that's probably, I would say, probably the biggest impact has been that, beyond obviously paid digital marketing exposure.
I truly think it all matters, honestly. It's just kind of coming up with that mix.
Yep, exactly. That whole marketing mix, everything kind of works with each other, and then it puts you out there even more, because people are seeing you in multiple places and repetitive. Um, so, you mentioned influencers. I'm curious, do you have a dream collab, whether it's an influencer or it's another brand, or like kind of who would be your dream collab or a dream customer, would you say, if you could pick anyone?
Golly, what do you think?
I really loved, like, one of the things I honestly think more about, I'm not sure if this is the right way to approach this, but I thought more about assortment this past summer, and I really, really wanted us to have a bathing suit. I thought that would be such a good, like, an obvious next step, and something that's our site would want us to have. And anyways, and so we partnered with Andy Swim this past summer, and came out with a capsule of a few bathing suits and a few sarongs and a few coordinating hats, and I was so proud of that. Like, I really loved how organic, and then also just how impactful the partnership was.
They were so wonderful to work with. Yeah, that was a great.
And they have a very different customer, which was also fun to play around with.
Yeah, much more West Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So it was fun to see a different demographic coming to our site. Like, as Laura had pointed out, is a lot very heavy in the Mid-South and the Southeast. But yeah, so that was really fun, just because I also love Andy Swim bathing suits. And so, so that was really fun. As far as the future goes, like, I mean, I don't even know.
I know, it's a hard question. We should know that.
Yeah.
Golly, I don't know.
We could probably use a PR firm. Keep us on top of this kind of stuff. We're just kind of like, sure, that sounds great.
No, I love that. The swim sounds so natural. Like, that was such a good collab, and fits the brand so well. So, since this is the Preppy podcast, I always ask everyone, what does Preppy mean to you? So how would you guys describe Preppy?
A sweater over my body, and I'm cozy, and I'm eating a lobster roll.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Very visual.
That's my happy place. So I feel like I probably am pretty much. I feel like I'm a mixed preppy. I'm like a combo pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is where I live.
Yeah. I would say comfortable and confident is preppy to me.
Answer. Yeah.
And that I'm proud of how I leave the home feeling confident in what I'm wearing and put together.
Yep.
Better when we put together.
Amen.
Yeah.
I love that. Comfy, confident, and lobster rolls for sure. I wish I had one right now.
Me too.
It's a great tagline.
And now this is probably a really hard question, but what's each of your favorite piece right now that's on your site?
I would say we're just about to roll out our fall. Some of it's actually already live because I couldn't stop myself this morning. Probably everything on there that's gingham. I'm like, I'm all for it this fall.
Speaking of preppy,
So we have a lot of several gingham dresses that I'm excited about.
Oh, I have to check those out. Those sound perfect for Camp Preppy.
100%.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
yes.
I like that a lot too, Laura. I would say, and this is very random and we were talking about expansion or category expansion earlier. So we launched this past spring, earlier in the spring. Was it the spring?
Yeah.
The what do we call it?
The getaway collection?
The getaway collection with like packing cubes and totes and weekenders and pajamas and things like that. And I wasn't, again, because we have a lot of products, sometimes I don't focus on one specific thing. Anyways, I carried our weekender on a trip recently, and it's so cute, I love it. And the quality is amazing. I would say that's probably the navy and white stripe.
I took the
weekender is so adorable.
Yeah,
and so that's my favorite on the site, which is not one of our normal products.
That's cute.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe I need this for Camp Preppy too, to pack all my things in.
It'd be very cute on your shoulder with your lobster roll.
Oh my gosh, 1,000%. So your brand is inspired by travel, and it sounds like you two love to travel. Where's your favorite place to travel to, and then where's somewhere on your bucket list?
Let's see here. On my bucket list is Tokyo. I'm gonna go to Japan.
I love Japan.
I need to go.
Have you been there?
I have, a few years ago.
I need to get your tips and tricks over there because I think it would be just like, I feel like it's traveling into the future. I don't know why. I just feel like it's fabulous.
But in the past too, at the same time, it's so amazing.
Oh, cool. My God, goosebumps. I want to go.
Yeah. Well, I want to go too.
Let's all go. And then, but honestly, we, my family goes to Mexico quite a bit. We're in Texas, so we're so close to it, but, I don't know what's happening, but I'm so tired of being hot all the time. Yeah. So the past 2 summers we've been just traveling.
We're hot.
I'm just really hot all the time. I don't know if it's perimenopause or what, but I am so over being hot. So we've been going to the Northeast, and I've been wearing sweaters in the summer, and it's like changed my life. So that's what we've been doing. Where I've been going.
We're in the Northeast, like.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you that part. The Cape last summer, and then this summer we went to Maine, and I loved it.
So nice, yes,
it was so
beautiful.
Nice. It was been cool. Literally, I had a sweater on every night. It was just so fabulous. So
that's amazing.
Wow, I know that actually makes my eyes water.
I know. Like, I mean, it's like 100 degrees here right now. So
more.
The issue here in Texas is the humidity. It's so hard. It's like it's stifling outside. It's just pretty, unless you're in the water, like you're hot. You're hot.
You're just hot.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite place, like in the past, I really like the more remote, the more underdeveloped, the better. So I like more of like I like those kind of dirty markets, and I like the eating out of, things that are probably eating out of huts, and I like that sort of experience. To
Amanda's more rustic.
Yeah.
Adventure, right?
I'm rustic.
I don't think that's the right word. So I like that. So South Asia, South America, getting outside of some of those larger cities too once you're there.
And what about this summer? We were in the Bahamas. Just being in a boat in the middle of nowhere with that kind of water is like, I mean,
put me in a boat and I'm happy.
I don't know what happens
honestly,
out
in any
there,
body of water.
I know.
Doesn't matter.
Just throw me in.
Sail me away.
With a life jacket.
Yeah. So I would say probably, so more third world, if you will, more underdeveloped, and then also, I would say.
So give us a country.
Okay, would you let me get there? I would say I agree with Laura. I would say the Bahamas, sailing, something that's very tropical and secluded is really nice. But as far as the future goes, I would love. I've never been to India. I would love to go to India.
That's on my bucket list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that'd be a fabulous one.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of it. I've never been to Bali. I'd love to go to Bali. We've got to make that one trip.
I know. I feel like we have to just Greek stuff.
Yeah.
Those are such great answers and, such great places. I'm curious, what is next for you guys? Anything you're working on? I know you mentioned some fall that you added to the site and will be coming up, but anything else that you can give listeners a sneak peek of?
Yeah, so we've already developed in the world of wholesale our spring 26 collection, which is so great. It's so fabulous. It's expanded. Again, more prints, more apparel pieces, more fringe and hand tie-dyed stuff and hand crocheted stuff. We've just really expanded a lot, and we're just so excited for the apparel pieces.
Everything, all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hands down my favorite, and we haven't even launched fall. This is a hard thing, I think, in this world, is to try to be present.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because all you do is live in the future. The same with you. The future pieces in PR. It's like talking about holiday. You're talking about whatever. It's like, enjoy your summer, but I'm thinking about winter,
Yeah.
I would say spring 26 is
it's gorgeous.
Hands down. So we've already started showing it, like Laura mentioned it, at some of the trade shows, and it's been so well received. We're working with a bunch of different fabrics and textures for spring 26, and like I said, the colors are so good.
The hats are fab. And we just started monogramming we have removable straps. Oh, and game day. Oh my God, I can't stop. There's a lot of stuff that's fun. But I think that's exciting, the monogramming, just more simple. While we were up in the Northeast, I feel like everyone is just a little bit more, it's like the quiet luxury thing where it's not like loud and flashy and like, 'cause I'm kind of a combo of that. I like a lot of color. But we wanted something more simple. So we're like, we should start monogramming the...
I wouldn't say you're a combo. I would say you like a lot
I'm
of
pretty
color.
loud.
Yeah.
But the removable bands. And so it's this little simple little touch, but it's like, on a solid band and it looks really nice. I feel like it's something.
And that's coming out spring, or when's that?
We actually already I put it up on the website yesterday. So.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to check this out too. I'm like, this sounds amazing as well.
Yeah, so we're getting more into customization and we've expanded the hat assortment, like category in general. So there's more hat styles and shapes for spring 26. So it's just a lot of new.
Yeah.
So exciting. Okay, my final question is, what's a resource you can share with listeners? Let's leave them with like a tip, whether it's a networking group you recommend, a great book that you've read that really helped you or inspired you, a newsletter you subscribe to, any resources you can share with listeners?
I would say, and this isn't anything like a specific recommendation, I think having a mentor is so important. Having a community is so important. That people, again, I keep saying this, but we're a little bit isolated here in New Braunfels as far as like in-person exposure with people that are in our same business. And it can feel isolating. And I think it is so important to have a supportive community around you and people that have already been there and done something, and they can give their feedback
because people want to
helpful.
I agree, because people want to share, they really do. I think it's just like, making that connection with someone to talk about your story and ask the questions
and be consistent with it, like checking in. And I'm constantly asking people, even if it's just via email, like questions about how this is going or what's happening there. And this is my problem. And what do you think about this? And so, being a support for them, but then also, receiving that assistance too. But that's just, and again, we're people. So I feel like I just like that interaction in general, but I think that's really helpful. It's easy as an entrepreneur to get very isolated and to look out, especially with social media and what others are doing. And I think that actually starting that conversation and building those relationships and not just looking afar and like wondering how that's going, is talk about it, So that would be my resource, is just
that's a great
relationships, right?
Yeah.
Because sadly I don't have any books I've read. I should but I haven't.
My stuff is probably more about what's the word? Just how to better yourself. And it's nothing to do with work. More self-help books than anything else. Yeah. Books about perimenopause, like Laura just said. Yeah.
True.
No, I think that's great advice. I think a mentor, is great to bounce ideas off of or get advice from, or even just, like you mentioned, hold you accountable for things. Which is
and
excellent.
You don't have to make it, because I can get uncomfortable. You don't have to call someone and be like, will you officially be my mentor? And not that big of a deal.
Like asking them on a date.
Right, yeah. Because I've heard people say it like that. Like, send them a letter and ask them. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But I will start just, developing a relationship, and I know how to do that. So.
Agree.
Definitely. Okay, so my final question is, where can people find you guys? Let them know your social media handles, website URL, anything like that, so they can follow along, shop, and support you.
SunshineTienda.com, and that means in Spanish it's Sunshine Shop. So our Instagram handle is sunshine at Sunshine Tienda Shop. So it's like Sunshine Shop.
Okay.
I don't know why we did that.
We'll leave you with the incorrect Instagram handle. It's Sunshine Tienda Shop.
That's what I said.
Okay.
You said Shop.
I love it. Well, and I'm happy now I know what the name means too. So this was a pleasure talking with you ladies and learning more about your amazing business. Thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely. Love this. I know.
Thank you so much for listening to the Preppy Podcast. I hope this put a little prep in your step for the day. Please subscribe, rate, and review on wherever you listen to your podcast, and follow along with @the Preppy Podcast on social media.